Today, I am making pork two different ways, a barbecue-style pulled pork and a Mexican-style carnitas pork. Pork is incredibly versatile, and these two recipes really show how differently you can use the same cut of meat. Let's make some pork. Hi friend, come on in. I am working with a pork loin today. I had one sitting in my freezer, taking up space, so it was time to cook it up. While pork loin isn't the traditional choice for pulled pork or carnitas, it is totally possible to make this cut work here. Even though it's a lean cut, the slow, moist cooking keeps it tender, and with the right sauce, you won't miss the extra fat. If you have a pork shoulder or butt, that will work even better here. I removed the silver skin from the pork, which is important because it doesn't break down during cooking and will stay tough and chewy. Unfortunately, this does remove some of the fat, but I left as much of the fat behind as I could. This was about 10 pounds of pork loin, way too much for these two meals, so I portioned it into 3-pound sections to work with. Each recipe below works with one 3-pound portion of pork loin. The first style, as mentioned earlier, is a barbecued pulled pork. I'm making a simple dry rub to coat the pork loin. This is a simple rub that will work for many different applications like ribs or pork shoulder. The rub consists of 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, or regular if you don't have smoked, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, and 2 tablespoons of packed brown sugar. I don't keep brown sugar in the house, so I had to make this. If you also don't keep brown sugar on hand, I have a video linked in the cards showing how to make brown sugar. And finally, 1 teaspoon of salt and a half teaspoon of pepper will finish off the rub. I want to rub this all over the entire pork loin, making sure to cover the whole exterior. This should sit about 15 to 20 minutes to allow the salt to draw out some moisture that causes the rub to stick better to the pork. While that is sitting, I want to get an onion sliced into half rings, and I want to mix up a little chicken stock from bouillon powder. In a large Dutch oven, the onions go on the bottom to prevent sticking. Then in goes the broth, followed by the pork loin. This can go in the oven at 275 Fahrenheit or 135 Celsius for 3 to 4 hours, or cook it in a slow cooker or on a smoker if that's what you prefer. Both methods work well for either version. The internal temperature should be about 200 Fahrenheit or 95 Celsius in order for the meat to shred easily. Once the pork is cooked, remove it from the liquid and shred with a fork. I reduced the braising liquid on the stove, adding about half a cup of barbecue sauce and a splash of vinegar for tang. I went light on the barbecue sauce because we like to sauce it on the bun. Feel free to sauce this how you like. If you don't want it to be too juicy, remove some broth before adding in the barbecue sauce and add back what is needed. The second pork I am making is a Mexican-style carnitas. In a Dutch oven, I want to make the simmering liquid beginning with 1 cup of orange juice, a half cup of stock or water with bouillon, 2 teaspoons of ground cumin, 1½ teaspoons of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of Mexican oregano, or regular oregano if you have it, a half teaspoon of salt, and 1 bay leaf if you have it. Since I didn't have stock on hand, I used a chipotle bouillon base for extra flavor. Optionally, you can add in garlic cloves, onion, or lime zest to increase the aromatics for this dish. Work with your likes and your pantry. I am going to cube up the pork before putting it into the braising liquid. Cover and cook at 275 Fahrenheit or 190 Celsius for 3 to 4 hours. Once the pork has reached the right internal temperature, I want to remove the lid and allow this to crisp up on top. If you choose to do this under the broiler, keep an eye on it as crisp goes to char pretty quick. The pork pieces can also be pulled out of the braising liquid and crisped up in a hot cast iron. Once this has crisped to your desired level, shred the pork and put it back in the sauce. These two pulled porks are great make-ahead meals for easy weeknight meals. Let me know which style you'd try first and how you'd serve it. How about having the barbecue pulled pork on buns or sliders served with coleslaw on the side or on top, or in a green salad with croutons and a light vinaigrette? Try the Mexican carnitas as a taco, in a burrito, or on a rice bowl. And the great part is, both of these freeze beautifully, so cook extra and freeze some for quick meals on those busy nights. If you are looking for a great tortilla recipe or a sturdy bun recipe, check the cards and end screen for links to those. If you enjoy seeing how to cook from your pantry, consider subscribing as I have more pantry-friendly recipes coming up. If you're making this later, don't forget to save the video so you can come back to it when you're ready to cook. And thanks for hanging out with me today.